Hello, wherever you are, I welcome you to this week's edition of Pinnacle Executive Coaching Downloads and Tips. This week we are going to talk about 3 simple keys for overcoming negativity in your life. My name is Teresa Walehwa Akuka, or simply known as Teresa Akuka. So, having constant negative thoughts pouring and flowing through your mind will quickly dampen your creativity, and this tends to get always in the way of you realizing your true potential. While we all know that being more positive, being more optimistic in our lives will help us to find success, many of us struggle to make the change from a negative to a positive mindset. Today I'll begin by talking about just 3 simple keys to help you to overcome negativity and change your life. So number 1, you have to recognize when you are using negative thoughts. Why? Because oftentimes when we are being ridiculed, that you're being put down, or you're facing a disappointment in life, or you don't want just to put in the effort, we use negative thoughts to protect ourselves. So when we think negative thoughts like, it won't work, I can't do that, it's not possible, we are permitting ourselves to play it safe. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, and talking yourself out of doing action, you have to step back and remind yourself that the most successful people have also faced failure several times, actually. If you're talking yourself out of something that you want, take the time to make a list of why you want it. The list of positives will help you to change your focus and to keep you moving forward with less fear. Number 2, you have to use black and white thinking. What is that? So, coaches, leaders, and your friends will tell you, just think positive. However, it's not always that easy. When you find yourself stuck in a cycle of negative thinking and you are terrified of a negative outcome or failure, positive thoughts often ring as a totally untrue. When you find yourself worrying about a negative result or outcome, then take a piece of paper, write down what is the worst thing that can happen. Then do the converse. Write down what is the best thing that would happen if actually you went through. And then think of some middle ground. What would be potential possible middle grounds? When you create a variety of potential outcomes, you'll become less emotional. It will help you to think more rationally, be more clear in what you want, and therefore you can easily face the fear and do it anyway. Number 3, you have to become an observer of your thoughts. So, think about it. Doesn't it always seem much easier to see and solve someone else's problem rather than your own? You can recognize when a colleague, a staff, or a friend is getting all worked up over nothing. Or if they're losing sleep over a meeting, you know that is not going to help. It's easy when it's someone else. However, when it's your mind dealing with the negative thoughts, it's a lot tougher to see and to stop. When you decide that you want to be more positive, you need to become more conscious of what you're thinking. And when you step back and analyze things as an observer, then you'll see a shift in your focus. You'll now be more mindful of how you're looking at that situation. So, being able to focus more on positive thoughts will make you happier, more optimistic about your life, and this will allow you to experience more joy and really have a rounded, positive well-being. So I had said that I'm only going to talk about 3 keys, but let me give you a bonus and talk about now, if you realize you have a negative mindset, how can you change it? So 5 ways to change your negative mindset is what I'm giving you. Additionally, Having a negative mindset will lead you to live an unhappy life. It will drain your energy. It can actually set you up for depression. It can even end up influencing the decisions you make both in your personal and your professional life. To avoid being overpowered and controlled by negativity, here are 5 ways that you can use to become more positive. So, number 1, you need to accept that your thoughts need adjusting. How would you do that? Everyone has dreams and goals that often don't turn out the way we expect. That's just the reality of life. If this happens repeatedly, however, then you must sometimes now pause and wonder what needs to be changed. However, you rarely will look inside at your own thinking as the place to start making the changes. Mostly you look externally. If you're dealing with doubt and fear when it comes to reaching your goals, maybe you need to accept that you need to change your negative thoughts. It's in you, not look at someone else to blame. You need to identify your negative thoughts. Every day there are thousands. In fact, it said about 65,000 thoughts that go through our minds. Imagine. Unfortunately, most of these thoughts are negative. And most of the time, we're not even aware of them. These automatic negative thoughts can quickly destroy your dreams if you let them. You see, that's the catch. If you let them. To overcome these thoughts, you have to be aware of them. Notice when you're thinking the negative thoughts and determine how frequently it happens. Then that will place you in a better position to handle it. Thirdly, you need to flip the switch. As you become more aware of the negative thoughts, you need to determine a way to stop them from holding you back. Every time you notice that you're entertaining a negative thought for unnecessarily long or just posing around it, you need to hold yourself, switch and flip that thought to become positive. If you're thinking, it's not worth it, flip it immediately and say it's worth it because of A, B, C, and then now get out of that negative space. Rather than seeing all your flaws, when you look at yourself in a mirror, for instance, tell yourself you're looking good, you're awesome. Appreciate yourself. Often taking this side of switching your thoughts to become positive is always enough to silence those negative thoughts. Then you have to start small. One of the best ways to change your mindset and realize your dreams is just to start. Just start at whatever scale, even if it's small, start. Because if your goal, you set a goal and you start one step at a time, you will actually realize you've walked a mile. Let's say you wanted to exercise by walking. If you just walk a few meters today, tomorrow you'll walk a kilometer. Then you'll realize you're able to do long distances. Once you start doing it, you actually now build the motivation to do more and more. Achieving large goals always requires you to take those small steps and then you create the momentum. Once you create the momentum, you'll be able to yield positive results. And then the last thing, you have to get comfortable with failure. Like we said, everyone who has succeeded has failed at least once. Changing your mindset will work. And just know that whatever you do, most likely you will end up failing in one of two things, but get comfortable with it. Tell yourself that this is one step towards me learning how not to do it, and then you will succeed. We all know the story of the person who made the bulb. He failed several times, but he never gave up, and that's why we have light bulbs today. When you are successful, you know that failure will come along the way, but you don't let that failure stop you. So, in order to help as many people as possible to actualize overcoming negative thoughts, I came up with a personalized online course. It is called Transform Your Mindset. It's a course you can easily do in 4 weeks, structured in a very easy to follow way. And I've given the link here, and I'll also copy it in the comments. Please feel free to watch it, to check it out. It's only $29, and therefore it's something that is a no-brainer. You need it. Get engaged and be able to transform your mindset. Also, I want you to follow me on all my other social media platforms. Follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and you can also send me an email and I can be able to engage with you. Thank you and bye.